Anyone who drives a Saab, particularly a new generation Saab 9.3, knows that while they've got a unique cup holder situation and they're kind of cool how they work, they either A, don't open all the time, or B, can't hold anything that weighs more than like 5 ounces. So I'll give you a good example right here. This is mine that's got erectile dysfunction. Opens about that much. And then there you go. But you can tell that it's not the sturdiest, and this has really been a big complaint of mine and many other people for quite some time, that Saab doesn't make great cup holders, and it's really difficult to kind of find a place to put your drink in the car. A little Easter egg, if you didn't know this, there is actually another cup holder right here that you can use, but that gets in the way when you're, especially when you're trying to shift if you have a manual. Having a cup or a beverage right here is like right where your elbow would be when you're shifting, so it gets in the way. So needless to say, Saab 9.3 people have been wanting a solution to a better cup holder, or really just a sufficient cup holder, for quite some time now. And finally, there is one. Right next to my face here, I have a 3D printed cup holder courtesy of MN Proto. Logan actually sent this out to me. I saw him post a couple months ago in one of the Saab Facebook groups. I'm sure a lot of you also saw that post and were interested in it. So I reached out to him. He actually said that he watched the videos and was going to reach out to me to see if I wanted one. So lo and behold, he's gone through countless iterations and countless different versions to arrive on this final product. So today we're going to be installing a better solution to the crappy Saab cup holder situation, and I'm very excited to get this into the Turbo X. It's a fairly straightforward install process, but there is a link down below at the top of the description. If you guys are interested in purchasing one of these, I would highly recommend it. I mean, just off the bat, very, very high quality for something that's 3D printed. So check it out if you're interested. Just keep in mind that if you do order one, he is a one-man operation, so he's not going to be able to get you one next day. You might have to wait a couple weeks for yours, so just have some patience if you do order one. Of course, this is the driver's side over here. We have our e-brake right here, and on this other side, it's just kind of like a blank, like, placeholder right here. So this is actually right where the cup holder is going to go. Fun little fact that a lot of you might not know, there's actually an option for this car that basically replaced this with an ice scraper, believe it or not. I'm sure it was much more popular on in Sweden and where most Saabs were sold, but this car doesn't have one. So we're going to be replacing that right there with our 3D printed cup holder. Let's get to it. So we're going to begin this install by just pulling this little plastic piece off right here. And there are 2 little Torx screws in here that'll let us take the second piece off. So it's just 2 little Torx, one at the front, one at the back. This is just about the most difficult modification I have done to this car, as I drop one of them. Now you will have to reuse these 2 Torx, so if for some reason you were going to eat them or like throw them out, I would advise against that if you want your actual cup holder to be in place. Okay, so one thing that was mentioned to me, you can see that this side has a pretty big sized lip on it, so it's going to sit this way. The lip is going to be facing away from the gear selector. So here is a PDF with instructions on what exactly to do, and as you can see from this picture right here, we're going to have to tilt the cup holder at an angle. I'll show you here in a second to make sure that it's secured properly and that it's on how it should be with that lip. So what you're gonna do is, I have to pull the seat back here a little bit, or the cushion, is tilt it like this. You gotta make sure that this lip is in the right spot. That's really the only thing that's preventing it from going in how it should. Once you got that, see how it's laying pretty much completely flush here. Now I'm going to check real quick with my flashlight. Yep, okay. It is perfectly lined up. Let's go ahead and drop the Torx in there. Tighten her down. Now he says you don't want to tighten it down the whole way here. He says about 75% because you want to allow some wiggle room to get it in the back here. So we're going to take the other one now. Check if it's lined up. Not quite. Move it a little bit. Okay. So they're both about 75% tightened, so now we're going to screw the front one in the rest of the way. And one thing he mentions in the instructions that I figure would be common sense to every single person watching here, but I figure I'll mention anyways, is don't use an impact screwdriver or drill or whatever to put these in. You'll just completely shred everything in here. I'd say that's in there pretty good. It does rub against the seat here a little bit. There's not any space between here, but I mean, that's not a big deal. It's not like it's pushing out of the way or anything. So now for the final part, because you've got two ugly holes here, there are nice little caps that you can put on. Now, although it does have a hole for a flathead, do not use a flathead because this is very soft plastic. You're supposed to screw it in by hand. Put your thumb on there and slowly push down. Before you know it, it's flush. Looking good. Same with the other side. Use my nail to like serve as a like temporary flathead. Okay, that's in there good. He does also send you two extra ones in case you're dumb enough like I almost was and decide to try to tighten it with a screwdriver. So here it is. It just pushes into the seat a little bit right here like I said, but that's really kind of like a Turbo X specific thing because these side bolsters are so big. I do have a couple cups here to give you all a generic size of what this is because it's a little bit smaller than I thought, if I'm being honest, but I don't think that's a bad thing. So this is like a standard coffee cup. I mean, you can see by the size of my hand, like the normal size coffee cup you get at Starbucks or whatever, and that fits in there no problem with a little bit of room. And then I also have this big like souvenir cup that you get, like the $10 souvenir cup you get like a football game, and that like fits around the rim, and if I really push down I can get it in there, but I mean, no point in doing that. So it'll fit your average fountain drink or coffee cup or whatever, and that's really what it's meant to do. The fit and finish, it really lines up well with this right here. It really lines up well. I'm really impressed. I can't imagine how difficult that was to do, but it lines up really well along here. Looks very good quality. I mean, look at how well that fits in there. It almost looks OEM if I'm being honest. And one more test, I suppose, because I just knocked this cup holder for getting in the way while you're shifting. Does not get in the way at all. Awesome. So there you have it, guys. Once again, huge shout out to Logan at MN Proto for sending this cup holder out to me. I'm really happy with it. It's definitely something I would spend my own money on. It looks good, it fits good, and it's high quality, so I would highly recommend it. Again, if you're interested, link will be at the very top of the description down below. So do yourself a favor, get a cup holder that's actually sufficient and good for your Saab 9.3. That's all I've got for today, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.